So for those who are already here, today we just want to do a Q&A. So if you have questions, if you have problems, there's something you don't understand,
Can't hear you.
how
Wait,
it
what?
works on ideograms. If you have an idea yourself, if you think this is something really cool to try, let us know. So yeah, it's a free Q&A. If you want to show something off, that's cool as well. Next time, we want to start doing all the essentials again, like typography and the editor, and go over them again. Some of it will be repetition for some of you. For some, everything will be brand new. People can jump in and give their own tips and tricks.
Yeah, especially if you're
Who
like a beta tester or if you've been here for a long time. We would love it if you'd come up and you could share also your tips and tricks and let others who are newer in the community learn from you.
who's new or who's relatively new to ideogram? Who's been here between 1 day and 2 months?
Yeah, who came in and to
If you want to raise your hand to come on stage, any of
hi.
you guys want to come on stage and talk, ask questions?
Greetings, Royal. How are you? We had done different things in ideogram, typography, lighting styles, image generation styles, all these things. But what happened was that there's a lot of new people that might have come in 2.0 that has never gotten to experience it. And so we wanted to give that chance to all these new people that came in 2.0. Is there any questions that you guys have? Like, oh, how do you do this? How do you do that? How do you prompt for this?
Okay.
Yeah.
Mike's question, is it possible to generate more than 4 images in parallel?
No.
No. That's an easy one. It does that automatically. Like you will get 4 images. Unless you're doing upscaling, then it's a one-on-one. But if you're generating images, there's not more than 4. Then you will just have to hit the prompt again. Avocado's question, sometimes I try to generate realistic people and I say words like realistic and hyper-realism, but it still makes it cartoonish. What do I do?
Oh,
Okay.
hyperrealism. No, just put photography. It's a little bit different. I know that in Midjourney, that's a lot what people used to put in, like hyperrealism. I remember putting that. Here we put in stuff like photography, cinematic shot, photographic shot. You could even use like camera styles and things like that. But definitely nothing that has to do with like hyperrealism. Hyperrealism will make it look a little bit cartoony. You're very right.
At the bottom, you will see these buttons you can push. One is general and one is realistic. Both of those will probably give you something realistic when it comes to your image. Realistic is meant for photo. General can be several things. So those are that's the first thing to pay attention to. 3D might give you something realistic too. It depends on what you're looking for. Like if you're looking for a photo, no. If you're looking for like Ninja Turtles, VR 3D kind of thing, like a video game, then 3D can help you out as well. So the first thing would be to push one of these buttons. That's one thing. Another thing is pay attention to your prompt. So if the words you used, like hyper realistic, and what was the other one? Let's see.
Realism.
Um, realism. If those don't work, try something else. An interesting thing to do is you go to the main page and look for a photo that's similar to what you want. For example, this guy here, he looks pretty photorealistic. You click on him and look in the prompt, see what they did. That's also how you learn. Like he says specifically, I want a photo. And then he's describing pretty well like what he wants, like in detail. This is the expression I want. He has to be wearing jeans and a t-shirt. The office chair, he has his feet up on the desk. And Ideogram will take all of that into account. Like it will very much try to respect your prompt.
Yeah, the word
The
a
light
photo usually works.
the
So
lighting you
photos.
can put in there, and it will keep in mind what kind of lighting you ask. Muse has done a whole workshop on that. It also says realistic vibe, but I'm not sure if that is necessary. And as you see, the style in Ideogram 2.0 is realistic. Yeah, so all of that helps. Let's find another photo,
And you could use
something
things
that's
like different kinds of lighting, like golden hour lighting or studio lights or um, blue lights, red lights, things like that.
the word professional is also a good one.
Oh, yeah. Professional,
I
definitely.
do everything professionally now. So this one, for example, it's a bit blurry on the face. I can tell if you look at the prompt, it asks for a photo specifically. It asks for fog. It's in there, which gives more depth to the image. It also helps with the realism. So again, pretty realistic output. I see the face is not as good in this one, but there you have to play with things. You can say photo, photograph, photography, professional. You can specify lenses and brands for photo cameras. This raccoon's also pretty realistic. So again, see, he chose the style realistic. That's one way. And then here he says simply a photo. Let's go back to what I had there, this one. So I very specifically said I want a captivating photograph. These adjectives in front of the word photography, they also tend to help a lot. Like you can say I want something captivating,
Epic,
professional,
inspirational.
mesmerized. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, another thing you can try is to mention a certain painter, or in this case, a specific
Photographer.
famous, yeah, famous photographer. In this image, I very specifically said, okay, I want a black background. See, it says a dark backdrop, and I want the candle to cast a gentle glow. I wanted to illuminate the child's face, and it does the lighting and all of that pretty well. So I have a very realistic photo. Here I asked to make one of those fake animals, like a combination of an eagle, a rabbit, a tiger, or whatever. It will give you very realistic outputs as well. So yeah, let me look again at the chat.
Fabrice put
Um,
the links to the photos. Guys, whenever you post a photo, also post a link to the photo so that people can go and like your photo and then look at it and things like
yep,
that, you know?
that's the general rule
And
anywhere
if you're
on
interested in
Discord.
sharing your prompt, you can, they could do that also.
Anywhere on Discord, people will go and look at it. Some people will go and like it. If you have questions, they will go and look at the actual photo to help you out. A lot of people are quite helpful. Yeah, in this photo, obviously there's depth of field. You know, these things you can put in your prompt, and Ideogram will try to give it to you. Pixel, can
Wow.
you show how to maintain a style consistency? For example, a house with different camera angles or character consistency. The best you can do at this moment is to describe your house or your person as well as you possibly can, like give a lot of details. And for example, if you go into the Creativity Hub, you can see Punk Mage do a lot of images, and he always makes
The
images
same character.
about the same character. And what he does is he has a very specific description of that
Uh-huh.
character. And therefore, because that's always his main focus in the prompt, he will get outputs that are very, very similar. So he has a lot of consistency
Oh
for
my
that
God, yeah.
reason.
He has literally broken ideogram inconsistency. Like nobody could say that there is no consistency because that man has achieved it. And he puts it in all sorts of different ways. Like he has put that little character in all sorts of situations.
Also, what you can do is on top of that, you can remix an image where you already have a very good description in the prompt. You remix it, and then you keep like 90 or 80 or 70% on the slider as high as possible, and you say it has to do something else. For example, Punk Mage was sitting in a chair in the first image, and you remix it, and now you're saying he's sitting at a table, or he's standing up, he's running. But you start from the first image, you remix it, and then with a very, very detailed description in the prompt, you will get the highest consistency possible. Also, 2.0 is better at it than Ideogram was before.
Once you give the model the context and the model understands, oh, I could do it like this or I could do it like that. But you have to give that model the context, the ability to say, I understand what you're saying.
Another thing you can do is if you have a paid version of Ideogram, you can upload a photo of something that is similar. Then it already knows when you remix that photo with your prompt, it already knows it has to resemble that. But it's really not that hard to get good photographic images. Look at this bird here. I mean, It's so detailed. All these feathers, the eye, the beak, it's very detailed. The background is blurry like you would have in a professional wildlife photo. And all I said was a photo. I asked some warm yellow and green hues, but okay. I mean, I just asked, give me a photo, and it did.
Give
So
me a
it's
photo of a
not
bird.
Lash Alchemy.
Let
Okay.
me see.
How can we get better wording? When I was doing a client logo, she wanted certain words, and Ideogram kept doing it differently. Took me 20 times. Several things. What SR says is it helps to put your text near the beginning of the prompt. That's one thing. Put your text between brackets. Unrealistic. Putting the text on there might be harder. And on general, it will be easier. For example,
Storm Fury, go ahead.
Quick question on the colors. So allows you to create an image using like, the set colors that you guys have. And a lot of times like I'll come up with a concept with certain colors, but there's no way to save, or maybe there is. Save that, like call it something, I don't know, like call it retro and do like 4 colors. There's no way to like keep that. I have to go back.
Save your palette, you mean?
Save my palette, exactly.
I don't think so, no. But actually,
But the custom
I'm not sure. Yeah.
work. So if you
So I know the custom works and I could do it, but I want to know, do you guys know of a way to save it? So for future iterations.
Okay, go back to the photo that you used and just add it back. So whenever you have
So
like
right, I have to find that photo. Correct.
I mean, you can search it. Just put like a specific word. That's what I do.
Right.
I go by all my words. Like if I'm searching for something, like I always do like a search word that I know for a fact, like that photo had that search word, and so I just search everything pretty quickly like that.
We have a certain MNO on stage.
Oh,
hey.
He's the person that
If I may jump in. So yeah,
Sure.
sorry we don't have an explicit way for you to store the color palettes. We have to add this in. Like Abandoned Muse said, you can, if you find that image, you can click plus. Or there's another way, which is you can click the copy button, and that gives you a string of hex codes for the color palette. And next time you can come into custom and just paste that in. If there are certain colors that you tend to work with based on your clients, you could store them in a text file for the time being before we add it into the UI. But sorry for
not.
I
see the little copy button. That's excellent. Thank you so much. See it. It's on the side.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're good, Storm Fury?
I'm beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thanks, MNO.
Awesome. Okay, if he was there, I was going to ask him if folders are coming also, but that'll be the next big thing. Folders.
I want
Folders?
those too. Yeah, those are nice.
I'm sure. Oh, there he is again.
Sorry, we're taking this away from Bjorn. And
Go ahead.
Are you Bjorn still, or are you Quantum Whisper?
I'm everything. I'm a ghost.
Yeah. Quantum Whisperer. Anyway, yeah. So we have we are doing this canvas thing that.
Oh, so I can
we
say
think
it.
will be useful for organization. It's not quite folder, but it's more like a Figma board where you can organize your images there and delete individual images and, have a free form artboard to organize your project.
Like a whiteboard?
Yeah, basically a whiteboard, and you can have some images being bigger, some images being smaller. I thought that would be a more fun way to help you organize images as opposed to folder.
Yeah,
but yeah, so hopefully you can get a chance to play with it soon, and then let us know if you still need folder or if it's good enough.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
You're welcome.
Cool. Lash Alchemy, I'm sorry, we didn't finish answering you. So, yes, so it helps to put the text between quotations. Now, if you have a paid subscription, you have an editor as well. And that is very cool because you can also write that words on your drawing and then tell the prompt what that word is just to confirm. And you can specify other things like it has to look like this, it has to be this kind of font and so on, these kinds of things. So the editor will really support that as well. That's another way to quickly get what you want instead of trying 20 times, apparently.
Since we're going to go back and start all over again and do all the text and all the things, just make sure to pop in whenever we're doing one of these on a Monday. And maybe we'll be doing the one of editor and the text. I think it would really help you out.
Then I see El Sayed 1966. That's a question for MNO on Thursdays. specifically, but is there a chance to make Ideogram more like a forum with more communication between the members and whatever? Well, there is the Creativity Hub where you can show things off and talk about it and so on. There's a whole bunch of channels where you can talk. On the website itself, you can't leave comments, but people are creative. They remix people's images as well and then write a text in them. Or in the remix, they will write a text in their prompt that you won't see in the image, but will show up on the site. That one is a good one that works as well.
Yeah, there's one that me and ImageCraft AI would write back and forth to each other, and it was like it had like a bunch of backslashes and then a bunch of brackets, and then we'd put in the actual message and I'd just close it off with the backslashes and the brackets. And usually a lot of times it does not read anything. I think that if you put a lot of information, me and ImageCraft AI would like tell each other like stories.
That's a trick you wouldn't normally hear in a regular Hangout.
Yeah.
That's something nifty that people who have been around for a while do.
Yeah, and it's really, I think it's like something cool about Ideogram that it forces you to think about new ways to comment to each other and talk to each other. You actually have to make them art in order to talk to them.
Avocado's Life is asking, I'm using the free version, does it matter or not? Does it impact photo generation? No, in essence, it does not. You're using the same AI models.
Prompts. Yeah.
And whatever. Yeah. The only thing that matters is you always have the same model. So you have everything that a paid user does, apart from the fact that if you have a subscription, you will get extras like the editor, image upload, higher quality, and so on. But the way the model works is the same.
I was gonna say the quality setting is only accessible to paid users, but I don't know if Bjorn and Muse, if you typically use the default setting or if you use the quality setting on the rendering.
I use default. Sometimes I use quality. Like if something's like not working out or something, like it's too like difficult for the model to understand, then I'll try it in quality setting, but I usually stay on default for the most part.
Yeah, so I guess that's the only setting I can think of that free users don't have access to, like a fast version that doesn't take 2 credits per image. It just takes 1 credit per image, and then the quality setting where it takes 3 credits per image as opposed to 2 credits per image.
Yeah.
But otherwise, you just wait longer.
Even the turbo version does a really good job. I wouldn't worry too much about that. But if you want to use it professionally, you want to upscale it, then you need a paid version.
It just gives you more options. Like any service, you always get like the baseline is what you get for free. And you get a certain amount of prompts, like in any AI service. And then, if you pay, you get more prompts, you get more bells and whistles. That's all. They're like any company.
More bells and whistles, but really cool bells and whistles.
Yeah.
Let's see more questions.
I found one, Squirts. I found one of the cool ones that I was saying that me and ImageCraft AI would write back to each other. Here you go. That's one of them.
What's the size of the Ideogram 2.0 model? Do you understand the question, Muse? Because I don't.
Oh,
like what
in
ratios
terms of parameters, I'm not sure actually. I don't know how many parameters it has. No, he's talking about like how the 70 billion llama model. He's talking about parameters. So he's talking about like how many parameters it was trained on. I have no idea.
Okay.
That's I think proprietary information. I mean, you might want to ask MNO stuff like that. That's technical. Anything that's technical like that about the model, we have no idea. I literally just make little cute pictures all day.
Hell Wit Up is asking, when is Canvas coming? Only MNO can answer that.
Yep.
Yeah, so we are thinking October 16 between us, but we're thinking October 16. It's a bit delayed because we had to redesign some components of Canvas, but the good news is going to be better than the original version that we were planning to release this week.
Wow. Okay. 2 weeks is not that long.
Yeah.
Let's see. Nawara, that's a really cool image. At 9:22. Sorry, like 3:22, I guess, if you're in Toronto.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a lot of good stuff are coming. Like that's all I have to say. Like imagine putting yourself inside of a photo that you just made on Ideogram, or creating yourself inside of a photo. Ideogram going to have a video function. So we were talking about this today. I don't think that they should. I'll say why. I think that they should focus on image. I'll tell you why. When you start focusing on too many things, you never end up doing anything really well. And that happens to so many companies. So, I mean, in my opinion, and this is just my 2 cents, peanut gallery over here, you need to stick to one lane. I think that's the best way to do it. Yeah, so the hashtag causes the following text to be ignored. Yes. So I don't know. I put in all the weird hashtags, brackets, backslashes. Some of them we did hashtags, some of them we did brackets, some of them we did parentheses. I don't know. Try it all. One of them usually works.
Hell Widup is asking, can you put a cityscape in the candle? Yes, you can do all those things. As you can see on my screen at the moment, it's a glass of wine, red wine, and there's a small sailing boat in there. You can essentially put
How did you
anything.
do that? This is so cool.
I know, that is so cute.
You can essentially put anything into something else. Like you can put a boat sailing, the red wine in the glass. You can have a city in a bottle. I think I did that a long time ago.
In a bottle.
Yeah, I think I had that like really, really early on. Yeah, you can put something inside some kind of geode, gem, for example. Yeah, you can put a city in a bottle. You can do all of that.
That's cool.
Lash Alchemy. I've been in love with making flyers. How can I get certain images like the hookahs to really look like realistic hookahs?
Do you know how to draw? So if you could just do a really rando drawing of something in the way that you want it, let's say that you want it to surround something, right? You first generate something that you want. Yeah. Oh, perfect. Oh my God, that's even better. Okay, so if I don't know how to draw, so usually the poor AI has to figure out like what I mean by the weird lines that I make. But what we do is that you generate whatever it is that you want in the background, right? And then let's say you want like 2 hookahs, like surrounding something, like 2 vases on the sides, right? You would draw the outline of the 2 vases on the side, interlocking the hookahs or something like that in the top, and just you could do it real cursory. You don't have to do anything detailed or anything like that. It could be very cursory, very undetailed, and then you put it through the editor. And I kid you not, as long as you describe what it says, right? Like 2 hookahs intertwining, it will do it. It is the craziest thing. It is amazing. Or put the text between. Yeah, sure.
Meandros is asking, is Ideogram going to have a video function?
No, that's what we were talking about. We don't think so.
I think MNO said they were planning to do that in the future.
Yeah, but we don't
I
think
just
they should.
never. I don't think that's what.
Come on, MNO. What do you think? Quantity over quality? I say quality over quantity.
No, what you're saying makes a lot of sense, and that's why we've been refraining from doing video models.
You know that I was a big like beggar of video, and I'm just like thinking about it, and I don't think you should. I think you really should just concentrate, on the quality of Ideogram.
Yes, and that's, to be clear, that's what we're focusing on every day. Not only the model, but also the user experience and workflow. We want to make that easier and give you more control every day. That said, when you look into the details of how the models are trained for image and or video, there's a lot of overlap, and we are starting to think much more seriously about video. We're actually doing some stuff on video, and it's not to delay our image plans or to reduce from the quality of image models. More about there's a lot of overlap between what we've learned about image models and how to push the quality of image models further, and what will lead to really high quality video models. So I guess we're just experimenting with it, I would say. There's a lot of questions in terms of what the product is for video. One thing is clear, the best image model gives you the best video today, in that, yeah, even if you want to do text to video, you're better off starting from text to go to image and then go from text and image to video. So these are all kind of the reasons that it does make sense for Ideogram to do video too, but we are just exploring it at this point, not 100% committed to it.
Right now, the competition is fierce. Video is out of control competition.
Ideogram is king in
in
images. I think it's better to be king in one of the two than, run to, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, are there more questions, Muse?
I don't see any.
Hell Up says that's convinced me to get the paid version to play with the editor. LOL.
Nice.
Oh, Hell Up. Seriously, you can draw a children's drawing
That's funny.
like you're 5 years old, and tell the image generator to turn it into a photo, and it will turn what you drew into a photo. Like, it's really good.
Show us.
Sure. When you go into your screen where you would prompt, etc., there's a little pencil here to go to editor. You click it, and then you get a very nice canvas. You can choose the size, the ratio, let's say 16:10, and then we have white space, and then you pick the pencil so you can draw. And on the very right, you have your colors. So let's say I want some grass. Let's draw some grass. I'm gonna draw the sky. Voila.
And
I
it
want
could
a
just
tree.
be cursory. It doesn't have to be like specific. He's better at drawing than me. Anyways, but
No, I'm 5. Now we want some dark green. Let's see.
he's 5.
You're
I'm
2.
2.
Figures. Okay. We have a nice tree. Now I want a house next to it. Let's. Well,
okay, that
doesn't
house
matter.
is terrible. I agree. That's too thick.
Here's the house. I need a roof on it. Let's go for something here.
The colors are just.
Look at this beautiful house.
Wow.
And still need a
A
door.
brown house. Who's ever heard of a
That's
brown
my
house?
door.
You're no good at
And then I have a fancy car in front
Like a
of the
blue.
house. I have this. Let me get a green car. No, a blue car. A nice
boy.
blue car.
Wow, that's like electric blue.
Thank you. Fancy electric Tesla blue car. Look at it. I'm awesome. And it needs wheels.
Great.
Okay. Oh, and of course, we draw birds in the sky like this.
Oh, yeah, for
Okay.
sure. That's me.
There we go. I made my masterpiece. Now I need to convince the world that it's a masterpiece. Simplistic. Who wrote this? So when you have an image, Ideogram will automatically give you,
With a green ground.
a prompt. But let's say this is a professional photo of a house, of my house.
I see. He lives in the middle of like the Red Riding Hood woods.
Oh, cute professional photo of my house. In the countryside.
Sure.
With a tree
and my Tesla.
Birds flying over. Yes. Voila. In the front, blue electric car is, let's say it's driving. Voila. And let's click realistic. And let's put magic prompt on and see where we go from there.
Sometimes you don't. Sometimes magic prompt ruins everything. So sometimes I take it off. I'll let it just generate the first few images, and then whenever I got something that I want, it did it. No, it still feels.
No, it didn't do realistic yet, but let's see. We have nice drawings, and I'm gonna pick this one.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna remix it again. I did say professional photo. Yep. Let's remix again.
Yeah, I'm surprised that it didn't do it.
It doesn't always do it from the get-go because it just depends. I mean, I could put the slider lower as well, but
that's why.
Yeah, I mean, it's always a bit of give and take and trying stuff.
Yeah, you have to try.
It gives you amazing images.
I've done some crazy stuff on this. I can't even believe that the model understood what I was drawing. Seriously, I felt bad for the model.
I never understand what you're drawing either.
I know, I don't think anybody does. My stuff is a disaster. There it is. Oh my god, that red house is so cute.
This one?
Yeah.
So it gave me my house in the countryside. But this is just purely for demonstration purposes. I have my green grass, I have my blue sky, I have my house, I have my electric car, and I have my tree that I drew. So it's all there. You reflect in the prompt what you drew in your picture. Now, of course, that's the thing. The more details you draw, the more detailed you're drawing, of course, the better it's gonna do, getting a great looking image or a great looking photo. As you can tell um, from my amazing 5-year-old drawing, it went to this. So it did one or two steps in between, but the more detail you give it, the better the end result is going to be. But
Yeah.
even if you're like me and you're like 5 years old, you're gonna get where you want to be. You know,
And
it does
remember,
do the
the
trick.
slider is a big deal too. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, you're correct. Um, the slider is a very big item here. Like I could have put it low from the get-go, but what I prefer to do is go through a few remixes and get something that remains closer to what I actually drew. It depends on what you're going for as well.
You mean that
Um,
it's not as close to what you actually drew?
well, I mean, if you put the slider high,
Uh-huh.
it will try, it will
Right.
always try to respect that, so it will stay close to what you drew originally. Like
Right.
if you're a great artist and you draw something and you want some kind of effect on it, or
No, but I'm
get
saying,
something ex-
can you imagine? I mean, it was gonna be like a brown house. Look at that. Look at that with a gray door. I bet you're thinking that if you put it like on 30 there, it might give you an actual realistic shot, like right from the beginning, and it's
Are
gonna
you
have
mocking my
a
skills here?
I am. What are you gonna do about it?
God,
Come at me.
nothing. You're a woman. You're right. I'm wrong.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, so yeah, so that would have been terrible. Thank God that you remixed it a couple times. So then we actually got a beautiful red house, and red's my favorite color, so I just loved it. It was perfect. That car looks nothing like the car that you had. Maybe you should have specified like a Prius or something. I don't know, like
Yeah,
maybe
of
like a
course.
sedan. A sedan would have been good. A 4-door sedan. The master of the editor, yeah. He is the master of the editor. That's for sure.
I'm not master of anything.
He's the one
I
that
can do
taught me. He taught me how to edit. I didn't even know
yeah, but
about this. I remember our first collaboration was like a weird bee with like speakers in a rave.
oh, I remember that.
That's how you taught me the
Yeah,
editor.
that was yeah, that
That was
was
so funny.
interesting.
What feature allowed just regular editor? You have it right now. God.
We're all professionals here. Okay.
Bye.
Yeah, thanks, Jill.
Until next time.